Good morning, everyone. Yesterday I spoke about friendship and how important it is to have friends that you can be totally vulnerable in front of, and that is how Jesus is. He's our space of total. Um, we can be totally vulnerable in front of him. We don't have to be strong. We can be weak, and we can be at his mercy, in fact, and we can trust him. But here's another side of the coin. And this seems to be quite a faceted coin. So maybe it's a diamond. So maybe friendship is a diamond and not a coin. Anyway, I diverse. Um, Proverbs 16, verse 28 says, a perverse. That was especially for my sister Kitty. She's going to phone me and tell me I said it wrong. A perverse person stirs up conflict, and a gossip separates close friends. That's interesting. From when you're a little girl, you're often told, especially us girls, don't gossip. It'll just get you into trouble. Don't gossip. It's not what God wants. Don't gossip. Don't gossip. And it's the problem is the gossip is about separating. One thing my mother said to me once, and it was quite an interesting thing, because she said, if a girl comes to you and is telling somebody else's incredible secrets to you, and keeping it on the down low and just a little bit of gossip here, then perhaps she's doing exactly the same with you. So be careful, don't tell her your secrets. And that kind of made quite an impression on me because that is a problem. Young girls often talk about each other and, they diss each other and all that kind of thing. And it's a problem because perhaps the gossip is, and it's very hurtful, to people. And your friend might be gossiping about you. So be very careful. But actually, the worst thing is about the damage it causes. A perverse person causes conflict. So, perversion. Perversion is like lies and mistruths and misinterpretations and when you one of the biggest perversions in our world is pornography, where they've taken this thing that God has given us that is pleasurable, um, the sexual relationship between a man and a woman, and they've taken it and made it into this worldly thing that is not what God has intended it to be. At the base of it, it's our procreation method. It's how we fill the earth. It's how we do something that God has told Adam and Eve to do. But on top of that, He's given us something pleasurable and something wonderful to experience with each other. And the world has taken it and made it perverse. And so there's so much conflict around marriage and who and what is supposed to be married and how many people, and why are you so hurt because I have had an affair and that kind of thing. And so it's taken it and it's unbalanced the Christian marriage because of how the world has taken this beautiful thing that God has given us to fill the earth, and it has perverted it. So it's caused huge amounts of conflict between men and women, between husbands and wives, between, all kinds of things. It's totally unbalanced. Um, and how awful is it that if you've been caught in telling somebody else a truth about something that you had no right to tell them? And I'm going to be honest with you, I've done that before. And it was such an eye-opener for me because the person whose secret I had told was so hurt. And I didn't have it wasn't like a juicy piece of information. It was like, oh, that has happened to a person I know. And this is how they dealt with it. And it was my thing to tell. And I know that my daughters have struggled with this before. And, I've heard of moms coming to say, my children are struggling with this thing. Either it's been done to them or they are doing it and now, and so it's a very hard thing because when we want a friendship, we have to, and and a relationship with our children, with our family, moms, brothers, sisters, whatever, spouse, with our husbands, with our friends. We need to be so careful, because when you're building this relationship, they want to be able to come and be vulnerable and naked in front of you, tell you their stuff, but they want to be able to trust you to hold it like a treasure, something delicate, something beautiful, like a bird. And it's not yours to go and talk about, and to go and spread, and to go and be perverse about. It's interesting how God has knitted this whole world together, and how at the heart of everything is our hearts, our comfort, and our joy. So don't go and steal somebody else's joy. Don't go and cause conflict in their marriage and in their lives, and don't tell people their stuff. Have a wonderful day, and we'll speak again tomorrow.